Update. And it's updated. Okay, great. It's for your health. That's right. Oi. Richard. Your hat looks slightly more gangster.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's great. Okay, Rich.
Yeah. If I thought about it,
Yeah.
would have worn my Jim Lee shirt with the Superman and the Batman on it. Yeah.
You weren't thinking.
No,
You weren't thinking.
So what do we got?
Where do you start with Batman versus Superman?
Well, Superman.
What do you...
Here's my point.
Okay. So, by the way, this is all spoilers. I know nobody really cares about the spoilers for the movie, but this is all spoilers. Super spoilers for Batman versus Superman. Rich, get your mic close to your face. Our camera is flipping out.
All right.
Don't worry about that. Go ahead.
I'm perfectly fine with the thought that this is not my Superman.
Yeah.
And Superman's had various incarnations over the years.
Yeah.
The question is this a good version of Superman? Outside of whether or not it's ours. Yeah, it's not Christopher Reeve. I get that.
Yeah.
It's not John Byrne's Superman. But is this a good Superman? What makes a good Superman? What do you need to have?
What makes it... Well, this is pretty much where I was going to start, which is what... Just as a character.
Yeah.
From what we see in the film, what is Superman's goal? Like, what's he all about as a superhero?
I've heard something interesting about Zack Snyder recently.
Yeah.
He wants to direct The Fountainhead.
The Ayn Rand book?
I think he's an Ayn Rand type person, which makes him the worst person.
He's an objectivist.
He's an objectivist, which makes him the worst person to make a Superman movie, because Superman is the embodiment of altruism, right? He's got all this power, and he gives it all for the benefit of the rest of the world. But what's all the dialogue with, like, the Kents? You don't owe anybody anything, Clark.
Do whatever you want, Clark.
You don't have to save those people on that bus. You got to look out for yourself. Is that can Superman with that mindset work?
Well, it could. It could if that was like, but like the problem with this thought is like he's not being a hero, but he is being a hero because they have these long elongated scenes where he's saving
they tell
people.
us.
They tell us.
They tell us that people love him and that you're doing things to the world. They never want to show it.
Right.
Zack Snyder would rather snip his own balls off than show a scene of Superman saving somebody that wasn't just there so he could shoehorn in some kind of Jesus imagery.
Well, that was my biggest thing is while watching the movie, I just kept on thinking like, does Superman want to be a hero?
Not really.
Is there anything in the movie that tells you that Superman wants to save people's lives?
No.
No.
The one montage of him saving people, like Mike explained, it's like a funeral. It was the depressing Superman saves people montage.
It really was.
The bird, no, I gotta save these people on this boat while funeral music plays.
Just slowly, like, I guess I'll help you off the roof, idiot. Why'd you get stuck up on the roof during a flood, you idiot? You're an idiot.
Do I have to be doing this?
And so, if Superman has no real focus as a hero, which he doesn't, there is nothing in the movie that shows that he actually wants to help people, except for Lois Lane.
Well, that's his own self-interest because he likes her.
Exactly. So she is the only person who he wants to save. Then why is he so caught up in Batman's shit?
Because they needed him to be.
Right. Also...
Actually, they didn't really need him to be because they don't really do much with it.
What?
I don't know.
Hold on, I saw gobbledygooks.
Yeah.
Where are you? Please, Gobbledygook says, Rich and Jack, please see Batman vs. Superman this weekend. First time I saw it, I was appalled. The second time viewing was great. It was a horrible spectacle, is what Gobbledygook says.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we will see it again. I don't know if we'll see it this weekend.
I'm not going to see it in the theaters again.
But we'll see it again.
No.
Superman has no shown purpose in the movie. He does no heroics in the movie until the one montage.
Yeah.
Yet, the people of Metropolis build a statue to him.
Yes.
And here's something that I discovered because, like, I wanted to rewatch Man of Steel because I was like, I kept wondering why they built that statue to him.
Yeah.
And so I was like, maybe, you know what? Maybe in Man of Steel, like, he does all this heroic stuff, right? Man of Steel, the first non-military person to see Superman, who is not Lois Lane. The first non-military person who is not Lois Lane to see Superman was the intern for the Daily Planet after he had destroyed the spaceships.
Like in costume. Okay.
2 hours and 15 minutes into the movie is the first time a non-military person sees Superman.
Yeah. This movie doesn't care about showing him saving people. It has no interest in that. And it has no interest in Superman being a hero. And
exactly.
If you don't have that, what you are left with is a big blue fascist.
Yeah.
You have a monster. All this power, and he's just a figure to be feared, not respected,
Right.
not loved.
Because he hasn't done anything.
Yes.
Or if he has done something, the movie has not made it clear whether or not he's a hero. They are banking off of, Superman's a hero. You guys know he's a hero.
How does Man of Steel end?
Man of Steel ends with him killing Zod.
Actually, Jack,
What?
it ends with Superman taking a $1 billion piece of equipment paid by the taxpayers of the United States of America, the legal government over the land, that was spying on an illegal vigilante with the power to destroy the world, and he just smashes it into the ground, and then he's smug about it.
Yep.
That's how the Man of Steel ends.
I was gonna get there.
Yeah.
I was gonna get there. They're trying to figure out. They're trying to keep tabs on Superman, as he is responsible for destroying most of a city. And he breaks their airplane and says, "Don't fucking watch me. If I help you because I want to. Fuck you."
He says, he basically says, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yes.
This is not a good man.
Well, and it's really upsetting in Man of Steel because they spend that first hour telling us, like, all he wants to do is help people, but he's conflicted because his dad told him not to. But then when he finally gets a chance to help people, he blows up half the city. He cocks it up.
People love to bring up, when they're defending the Man of Steel,
Yeah.
they love to bring up the Avengers. Well, city got destroyed in the Avengers. It's a key difference.
Okay, what's the key difference?
We see scenes of the Avengers saving people during this crisis. They're going out of their way to save people who are in danger.
Yes.
And trying to mitigate the damage as much as they can.
Absolutely.
They are trying to help. We never see anything like that with Superman. He just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
That's exactly.
He doesn't care. We have a Superman who doesn't care about people.
We have a hero. Fuck, let's go back to your wonderful mindset of Murder Man versus Captain Collateral Damage.
Yeah.
He is still supposed to be a hero, and he doesn't care about saving people. All he wants to do is punch. Oh, I guess I'll save there's a girl in a roof on fire. I guess I'll go save her if I have to.
Like, the thing blows up over the city, and then before he goes to punch that, maybe he just flies and he shoves, like, the debris out of the way of a person that's on the ground. Something little like that.
There was a scene in which Superman was defeating the alien ship, and that intern was trapped under some debris. And some other people, like, were trying to get her out from the debris. Perry White and the other guy from the planet were trying to get her out from the debris. You already had that scene where Superman just could have come in, "Miss, are you okay?" Lift it up, get her out. Boom, he's a hero. Boom, that makes sense. Instead, what happens is, ships blow up, everything blows up. Superman lands on the Earth, and even though this intern, who has never seen Superman before, sees him land on the earth and go, and she says, he just saved us. This is what she says at the end of Man of Steel. She's never seen Superman before. Mm-hmm. She just knows that aliens are attacking the city. She sees an alien land, and she goes, he saved us. How the fuck do you know he saved anyone? She doesn't.
Now, our Superman, Superman would save people.
Yeah, of course.
This Superman doesn't, and he's not our Superman. Mm-hmm. Does that still make him a good character?
Well,
I'm going to say no.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's just scary. He's just scary.
He's Captain Damage, right?
Yeah.
So this is Captain Damage, who's moody, helps when he can, but the movie still doesn't show him helping that many people. And when it does show him helping it's these like elongated slow motion shots that makes you kind of feel weird about him helping people.
What if it weren't Superman? What if it were something like Hancock, or just a superpowered person who didn't care? Would that be an interesting character if it wasn't Superman?
That's Captain Damage, right?
That's Captain Damage, yeah. It's Captain Damage, not Superman.
Right. Which is fine, but they still keep shoving this idea of him wanting to be a hero in our faces.
Yes.
Which doesn't match with his actions in the movie. They tell us he's a hero. They show us him being a dick. So even if it's Captain Damage, it's still an inconsistent character.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Now, when we're talking about Superman, we're talking about Man of Steel, even though we're supposed to be talking about Batman versus Superman, because we have to, because Superman doesn't do anything in Batman versus Superman. He almost literally doesn't do anything in the entirety of the 2.5 hours that the movie runs.
Yeah.
So we have to talk about Man of Steel, because that's all we know about his character.
Well, and it's the same movie, right? Man of Steel's the first movie, and this is the sequel unofficially or whatever, or officially, or in the same universe, right? Man of Steel tells us he wants to be a hero. It doesn't really show him doing much heroics beyond like little stuff here and there. Once he puts on the cape, but really it doesn't matter, because then we get huge character inconsistencies with him killing all of the Kryptonians and then being mad about killing the one Kryptonian. But that's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
And then when the script tries to sell him as a hero, though, that just annoys me.
It should.
They build him a monument. The Daily Planet has a love affair with Superman. The city has a love affair with Superman. No, they shouldn't.
But it's like, you could have showed him doing something, like...
Or just everybody hates him. As they should.
But, sure, well, I guess that's the thing. You have to choose. And if your Superman is going to be a dick and that's the story you want to write, like... Is he, he's helping, but he's causing damage. Is he a hero? Then write that story. Mm-hmm. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too. And it doesn't, and that's what really doesn't work. And they try to do that with everybody, with Lex Luthor. You want to?
That's a whole other fucking can of shit.
That's a whole other can of shit. Well, I guess we'll stick to the heroes. So Superman. I'm trying to remember the first time we saw him in the movie is when he saves Lois Lane.
Yeah.
So, Lois Lane is in...
Can we talk about that scene, too? Do you know the photographer?
Yeah, go ahead, explain. I know.
Do you know who that was?
Yes, I do.
That was Jimmy Olsen. That's officially Jimmy Olsen.
So the movie opens up with Lois Lane and a photographer going to interview a terrorist. And as it turns out, the photographer is working for the CIA, and the whole thing gets mucked up and people die. And that photographer... who is officially Jimmy Olsen, gets shot in the fucking head.
In cold blood, no remorse.
This is how the movie starts.
It startled me because this is a Superman movie. I fully expected Big Blue to just go put his hand out and catch the bullet. Nope. I expected him to do something heroic.
Yep.
Like maybe they learned their lesson. Maybe he's going to be a hero.
Yep.
Nope.
Fucking dead. He does eventually show up to save Lois Lane.
Just to save Lois Lane. But
right.
It should be noted that this is done selfishly because he loves Lois Lane.
Because he gets to have sex with Lois Lane.
He gets to have sex with Lois Lane.
I guess he could have sex with Jimmy Olsen, too.
Back with our objectivism.
Yeah.
He's looking out for his own self-interest, ultimately.
This movie makes me drink. So he saves Lois Lane. Has all the sex with Lois Lane. We get a super sexy bath sex scene.
Well, it should be noted he saves Lois Lane by shoving a normal human being through 3 brick walls.
Yes.
Who is certainly dead. There is no question that he is dead.
Absolutely.
Now, it should be noted that this whole terrorist thing with the shootings and getting Superman to come there to punch a man through a wall, it's all a setup.
Right.
Let's talk about how this is a setup planned by Lex Luther, part of his Rube Goldbergian plan to do something.
So Lex Luther knows that Superman has a thing with Lois Lane, also knows that Superman is Clark Kent, also knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
Yes. But what was Lex Palpatine, what was his plot with the terrorist setup? What was he trying to accomplish?
What was he trying to accomplish?
He was trying to make, this makes no sense. He was trying to make Superman look bad, like a murderer, like he's doing whatever he wants. He went there and he killed all these people. This doesn't work.
Oh, sure.
This doesn't work for reasons.
Uh-huh.
First reason, the first time anybody ever sees Superman, he destroyed Metropolis.
Right.
So the public should already hate and mistrust him.
And they
the second reason this doesn't work is because those people all got killed by bullets. Superman would not kill people with bullets. Except for the one guy he punched through 3 brick walls. He did murder him.
Right.
And the third reason it wouldn't work to smear his opinion in the U.S. public is he murdered terrorists, and his opinion would only go up in the polls.
Right?
That Fox News, once they got a hold of this story,
oh my God,
they would be trumpeting the joys of Superman to the world.
Right. Right.
So this plan to frame Superman for the machine gun murder of a band of terrorists is ridiculous.
Superman decides to ditch his super strength and speed and laser eyes in lieu of using a machine gun to kill people. America would love him for that. Because you know why? Because he used a gun like an American would. Fuck yeah, man!
He'd be getting NRA endorsements.
Superman for president! Shit, dog! Shit! So then we meet Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor, I kind of like the way Jesse Eisenberg played him because he was a little silly.
He's not our Luthor, but he kind of works.
It kind of works.
I mean, originally Lex Luthor, mad scientist. Mad scientist prototype. Then he was evil businessman.
Yep.
And now he's Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And that works because that's like the modern businessman, eccentric billionaire, right? And we don't really know what Lex Corp does.
I'm not super worried about that.
Big business.
Science something.
Science something. Lex is trying to get the government support to get into Zod's spaceship. The
Specifically, he's trying to get the government support to build an anti-Superman weapon.
Right.
There is no reason the government should have turned him down.
So Holly Hunter says, I don't think this is a good idea.
She heads up the committee that blames Superman for the terrorist attack with bullets. And she blames Superman for the terrorist attack with bullets. That makes no sense.
But then says, we probably shouldn't do anything to stop him.
This man who destroyed Metropolis 18 months prior.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need any kind of countermeasures for him. Oh, that's assassination. The U.S. government would never kill people.
But you know, it's all good because he saves that one Mexican girl from the fire. This is what the movie tells us, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what the movie tells us. I was having so Lex, so many elaborate plans. I was having a Twitter conversation with someone, and we came up with a really good theory about so at the end of the day, Lex's plan is to pit Batman against Superman to take care of Superman and possibly take care of Batman. Who knows, right?
How dumb is that?
Well,
how idiotic is that?
But this is his real plan. His real plan in the movie is to pit Batman against Superman so they fight and one destroys each other, hopefully Superman.
we're gonna defeat Superman, the man who can destroy worlds, by pitting him against an unhinged vigilante.
And that's fine. Well, you know what? Because you throw whatever you can at him. And then, like, if that doesn't work, or maybe just for some other reasons, I'll also build a giant monster. Because why not?
We're not even there yet.
Well,
we're not even there yet. Congress. Can we talk about Congress?
Are we even there yet? Like, I think now we're on Batman.
I know. Let's figure Lex out. There's nothing to figure out. Let's explore Lex and how he doesn't work at all.
Sure. So Lex wants the government to let him build a Superman weapon. And that's where he takes a Jolly Rancher and places it in another grown-up's mouth.
Yeah. That's weird and quirky, whatever.
And the other grown-up is okay with that, even though he's a congressman. Right?
Whatever.
It was very distracting. It was very distracting.
He doesn't respect authority, I think is what they're saying. It's fine. I'm fine with that. But he sets up the crippled man who, from the beginning of the film, who had like a beam fall on his legs when Superman blew up Metropolis.
The whole reason Bruce is pissed at Superman is because Superman broke Bruce's building and killed a bunch of Wayne Corp
people he knew.
Employees, and it crippled this employee of his.
That was set up really well. That was the one motivated character in the movie who had good motivations.
Yes. This should have been a Batman movie.
It basically was. I mean, I gotta imagine there's a ton of shit on the cutting room floor from Superman.
Well, once we get the 3-hour R-rated cut on DVD, which is a thing that's happening, it's probably going to make a little more sense. No, Batman, and it's like you want the whole movie to be about this, about like Superman answering for his crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
that would have been great.
You saved the planet. You also murdered like thousands of people. Saved millions, murdered thousands. What can we do about this? Wouldn't that have been great? Like, and you know, we get to this point. So this guy who gets crippled in the Metropolis accident, in the Metropolis situation, takes Superman to court and says, you need to answer for your crimes, right?
No, it's a Congress.
Well, I'm just saying, like
there's a Superman hearing.
There's a Superman hearing, and this guy wants answers. Right? But he's a plant from Lex Luther. And we get to this scene in which Superman decides that he is going to speak his mind and say, hey, I'm going to answer for my crimes.
Wouldn't that have been really interesting to hear what he had to say?
That would have been great. But instead of that, the whole thing blows up and then it's never mentioned again.
The wheelchair because Lex Luthor's been setting up the crippled guy to be a patsy for the last 18 months. Because 18 months ago, he knew that he was going to get Batman to try and kill Superman, even though they didn't know about kryptonite yet, and even though Batman's just a normal human being who blew up a city and some UFOs.
Yeah.
So he's going to take this crippled man and he's going to steal the checks that Bruce Wayne is sending him.
Yep.
And then he's going to write in crayon on the checks, and he's going to hold those checks back until 18 months later when he's going to send those checks to Bruce Wayne after giving the wheelchair man a new wheelchair that blows up, and then the wheelchair in Congress with Superman in it is going to blow up Congress.
That's right.
And then people are going to hate Superman because they think Superman blows up Congress, even though they immediately figure out that it was
not
the wheelchair and it wasn't Superman. And blowing up Congress did nothing to further Luthor's goals of framing Superman or basically doing anything. Basically, he just murdered Congress for no reason.
Well, you know, he didn't like that one. He didn't like Holly Hunter. Holly Hunter was getting in his way, so I guess like she's dead, and that's great. But that was the most frustrating part of the movie, and like a very similar turn happens in Man of Steel, where, like I said, that like first hour of Man of Steel slowly delves into the character of Clark Kent, and then the rest of the movie just says, "Fuck it, I guess we're fighting." So here we have a situation that is actually asking questions about heroes. What are they accountable for? Superheroes, like, oh, sure, they help people, but yeah, they break buildings. Let's Superman defend himself here. Instead, there's an explosion, and then, like you said, afterwards, people are like, oh yeah, it was this crazy bomber. Superman couldn't do anything. I guess he's all right. oh, but I still hate Superman, but I hated him before anyway. It accomplishes nothing to answer the questions that the movie wants to raise.
Here's an anal question.
Okay.
I'm going to get a little bit anal.
Didn't
Lex Luthor have the kryptonite at this point? Didn't he actually have possession of it at this point in the movie?
No.
No?
I think that scene happened after. It's hard to keep it. It's hard to keep it all together.
Because Superman went on vacation after Congress blew up.
Was that when he went mountain climbing?
I think that's when he went mountain climbing, and I think that was when Luthor had the kryptonite because Superman came down to stop Superman from stealing the kryptonite.
Stop Batman.
And if Superman were still around, he wouldn't have been there to. If he were on vacation at that time, he wouldn't have stopped Batman from not getting the kryptonite in the scene that had no purpose, with Batman failing to steal kryptonite that he stole 2 scenes later off camera.
Well, we'll get there.
But I think Luthor had the kryptonite at that point. Why not just make a kryptonite bomb with kryptonite shrapnel? You know where Superman's going to be, and you got a wheelchair bomb.
And you already know that the kryptonite hurts Kryptonians.
You could just made a kryptonite, but it would have killed Superman right there. It would have been really easy. Yes. It would have been really, really easy to do that.
I guess like you had the power to kill Superman already.
Yep.
You might be absolutely right. Like, and I saw the movie a little drunk and very late. I want that to be clear. I want that to be very, very clear. But you might be absolutely correct that Lex already had the kryptonite in his warehouse. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So, where are we in the movie now? Like it's
Congress blew up.
So Congress blew up, and the plan, Lex's big plan for blowing up Congress was once again to try to frame Superman to get more people angry at him. Mm-hmm. But the public is still like, the people who liked him before still like him, and the people who didn't like him still don't like him. The only person it really angers is Batman. Batman is now pissed at Superman. 1, because Superman broke his car. 2, because Superman blew up Congress, right?
Yeah.
So Batman starts a training montage a la Rocky IV when he's in Russia and hitting a tire.
He could probably afford some really nice workout equipment, Bruce Wayne.
It's more hardcore if you do it this way. I think so.
Yeah. That makes your muscles bigger.
I think it's important to know that Bruce Wayne does CrossFit.
Yeah.
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 That's important.
Bruce Wayne would do CrossFit.
Bruce Wayne would totally do CrossFit.
Totally do
and CrossFit. Tell all of his friends about it nonstop. Dude, fucking the other day I was doing pull-ups till my palms bled. It was awesome. Dude.
Yeah, Wonder Woman, I do CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this.
You wanna go get a quick session? Get a quick CrossFit?
Yeah, I can lift buildings. You lift that tire.
Oh, that is so great that you do CrossFit. Do you want to? Oh, you can hit a tire with a hammer? That's funny. I can rip a man in half. That's my Gal Gadot.
No, Superman. What is he doing in this movie? What is he doing?
That's the big question, Rich.
He really, really cares about Batman. He's very anti-Batman.
He's very anti-Batman.
You know, because the Batman is a vigilante.
Yes.
Who takes the law into his own hands.
Fuck that Batman.
And he kills people.
Absolutely. Fuck that guy.
And this Superman has a moral problem with that.
Because Superman doesn't kill people. Oh, wait.
Superman isn't a loose cannon vigilante who doesn't respect the law and kill people.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Whoops-a-doops.
Oh, so he's just a complete hypocrite?
Yes.
Who has no reason to hate Batman or what he's doing?
Okay, so let's even go a little bit further. When we're on the roof of Lex Corp, which is in Metropolis, later in the movie, we're on the roof of Lex Corp.
Does he play? Wait, oh, Mr. Glitch. Does he play by his own rules? Yes. At the end of Man of Steel, he throws the $1 billion satellite on the ground and tells the U.S. government, "Fuck you! I'm going to do what I want."
Oh yes. By the way, there is. I'm not joking when I say there is a training montage in this movie. Rich, corroborate.
Yeah, there's a training montage.
There is a CrossFit training montage in which we get to see a very good-looking Ben Affleck doing some awesome stuff. So, but here's what so Superman is a huge hypocrite, right?
Oh, huge hypocrite. Comically huge.
And he doesn't like the
script,
Batman.
This problem is the script doesn't think he is. The script is still trying to pretend that this is the Christopher Reeve Superman, which is where it completely falls apart because that is not what we see at all.
No. We never see him being like true good or whatnot. Oh, but let's say, fine, he hates the Batman. He doesn't want the Batman doing his bad Batman things, right? Mm-hmm. At this point in the movie, like, I mean, even before Batman tries to steal the kryptonite, Clark Kent already knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Because at Lex's party, he heard him talking to Alfred.
I honestly think he's supposed to be too stupid to put that together. I honestly believe he's supposed to be that dumb.
Okay, but then he rips apart the Batmobile.
Yes.
After Batman is messing up Metropolis.
And rather than put him into jail,
he gives him a warning. But here is the real thing. Gotham City is across the bay from Metropolis, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So assuming the movie's logic is correct, which it's not, and Superman just doesn't like Batman, at any point during this movie, Superman could have flown over to Gotham and just waited for Batman to show up because he has super hearing and super sight, right? Mm-hmm. He could have dealt with this Batman shit during any time in the past 8 years since Man of Steel happened.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
We see Gotham from Metropolis.
Yes.
Superman has super hearing.
He didn't have to leave his office in the Daily Planet.
Yeah. And then he catches Batman was trying to steal the kryptonite. He has X-ray vision. Okay, he's Bruce Wayne. Now you can have this conversation with Bruce Wayne at any time you want because Bruce Wayne is a famous person. You know exactly where he is at all times, right? Mm-hmm. So what?
Where was the scene where Batman uses his detective skills to figure out that Clark Kent is Superman, and where's the scene where Superman uses his powers to figure out who Batman is? Where is that? Why isn't that in the movie?
Because that would have been fun, and no fun is allowed in this movie. Does Batman figure out who he is?
I don't. Well, he has to know by the end because he's there at the funeral and at the Kent household. But it's not clear that he knows before. Actually, I don't think he does know before that.
Because Superman calls Batman Bruce when they go on the rooftop for the final fight.
Okay.
But, he can see through.
It's not clear when Batman figures it out. But I assume just because he's at the Kent farmhouse at the end that he knows. At the end. Because Lois Lane probably told him over Superman's a corpse.
Probably. I guess. Yeah. And, that's, by the way, in all other iterations of Batman meeting Superman.
Which I guess means Lois Lane also knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne. Because Bruce Wayne shows up to the Kent household for Superman's funeral. So now this newspaper reporter knows who the violent bat vigilante is who tried to kill her boyfriend.
She already knows, they patched it up, they're friends now. And okay, well, she knew one secret. She's probably good with all the other secrets. That's fine, right?
Hey, this is our spoilers discussion. If you didn't know that,
sorry.
Why are you here?
We're talking Batman vs. Superman. This is huge spoilers everywhere. I thought I put that in the title. I might not have. I guess this is the obviously movies sometimes need these tiny little nitpicky logic flaws in order for the movie to work.
Yeah.
The problem is when they start stacking up.
Yes, that's a sign of a sloppy script.
It's a sign of and there's one little nitpicky thing. Okay, your mind can let that pass, and the escapist fantasy is still there.
When they're all over the place, though, it's a sign of somebody didn't give a fuck.
Yes.
And it's a horribly written script.
Yes.
It's a sign.
Yes.
Did we talk about Lex Luthor's complete lack of motivation for wanting?
Well, we haven't even gotten there yet.
Okay, well, we're going to get there, though.
Of course we're going to get there.
It's important.
No, we're still discussing Superman's lack of motivation. This is the real thing is you can pick just about any other superhero movie and you understand what the character is fighting for, and have like Captain America.
Yeah.
You saw the Captain America movie, right? What's Steve Rogers' thing?
He's fights for mom and apple pie. He's a good old-fashioned boy, and he believes in his job as a soldier fighting for the American government.
And can you think of like a specific scene, maybe early on, that kind of showed all you needed to know about him as a character,
like with the garbage cans in that movie? Yeah.
Just trying to stop some bullies.
Trying to stop some bullies.
Boom. Boom, that's all you need.
And even though he's like, at that point, Steve Rogers is a scrawny guy trying to stop bullies, which makes him that much more courageous.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Boom. Everything you need to know visually.
As much as I've had problems with the first Avenger, Captain America, First Avenger,
Yeah.
I love the first like half of that movie.
Yes.
I love everything up until it turns into Captain America and Sergeant Fury's Howling Commandos minus Sergeant Fury.
Captain America and the laser pistols is what it turns into. This is all I'm thinking about here is like other movies who have done it well, and I kept trying to think about like
Iron Man with his change of heart.
Yeah.
After seeing what his weapons are doing, and
his weapons are getting into the wrong hands.
Yep.
He sees it firsthand.
Yep.
Oh my! We see it all. Iron Man 3, right? Which obviously I think is a perfect.
It's great.
Movie.
I don't know what his problem is.
But like, literally, the whole movie is about like, is it the man or is it the suit? And by the way, like that's not just like the suit. Is it the hero? Like, is it the power or is it the man? Oh, it's the man. The man makes it. That whole movie is about that, right? I've been trying to think of other DC examples who have gotten it right, or at least other non-Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that have gotten it right.
What like motivation?
Like motivation. It's just like, can you name a scene in a DC movie where we know exactly what the character's about?
I haven't seen many of the recent ones. Like you want to talk about like Donner or Superman or something like that, but
I was trying to think of like, even like.
I haven't seen those old Superman movies in so damn long now.
Right. Even like Burton Batman. But so all we can point to in modern movies is the Marvel movies because that's all the competition there is, and they keep nailing these basic characteristics.
Well, what Marvel does so well is they understand their characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They really understand their characters and what makes them tick.
But beyond that, the filmmakers show what makes their characters tick. It's possible that Zack Snyder understands exactly what's going on in Superman's head. He just doesn't show us. You have to, if he's going to be the hero who's questioning his own methods, you need to fucking show that.
I'd say they do that well with Batman in Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
They do a great job early on of establishing his motivations to go after Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I have one issue with it.
Oh, no.
One minor. It's great Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Terrific, wonderful Batman.
Terrific, wonderful Batman.
But they set up his motivation to kill Superman. I have to kill Superman because he's too dangerous. Wouldn't that have been more powerful if this was a Batman who didn't ordinarily murder people? If this were like that step he was willing to take, because this case is so extreme, I'm willing to cross that line.
Ooh.
And then if that were the case, if this were a Batman who normally didn't kill people, but I have to because Superman is such a danger, wouldn't that make the Martha moment work?
Yes. Oh, Rich. Where were you? Why weren't you in that writer's room?
And I have no problem. I don't even have a huge problem with murderous Batman. Because you go back to the Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton as Batman killed dozens of people.
Absolutely.
He blew up everybody. I think I talked about this last stream, but he blew up everybody in the Ace chemical factory. All of Joker's henchmen were in there, a ton of them. He shoots guns and missiles at Joker's parade float. He targets the Joker with his machine guns in the bat plane.
Yep.
He throws a guy off the clock tower, and then he murders the Joker at the end.
Ultimazer makes a really good point here. Motivation to go after Superman, but no explanation as to why he's so willing to casually kill criminals and brand them, which is also a death sentence in prison for some reason. That's true. Mm-hmm. We have no reason why he has no reason why he's so unhinged to his regular criminals, except for the fact that he's just so wound up over that Superman character.
Zack Snyder wanted a violent Batman.
Yeah, that's really it.
That's really it. Yeah.
And doesn't care how or why he shows a violent Batman.
You could make an argument that you see Robin's costume with the Joker's graffiti on it. That Robin's murder maybe pushed him over the edge.
Sure.
It'd be nice if there were a movie before this that showed that.
That would be great.
That would be great.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would have been neat.
A little more.
Set up Batman for this film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that film ended with him driving to Metropolis. The Batman movie that doesn't exist.
Sure.
With him driving to Metropolis and seeing all the atrocities, and then this movie happens. That would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been a good post-credit thing. Him being in Metropolis when buildings started blowing up. Yeah.
That would have been fun. That would have been
They
great.
didn't think to do that. They just wanted to go right into the Justice League movie.
So, this is the real thing when people talk about like the Marvel bias. We can't help it that they make better movies.
I'm going to say this, even as a comics fan, I for the most part I like the Marvel characters more.
Yeah,
I do. I think they're just more interesting characters for the most part.
Uh-huh.
Like Green Arrow, lame Batman. Green Arrow is lame Batman.
Yep.
Flash is, I don't even understand how the fuck they make that work. But
he can run real fast, Rich.
But my issues with a lot of the other DC characters, I fucking love Batman and I like Superman a lot too.
Of course, yeah.
This is Batman versus Superman. That's not a factor. I should love this movie.
Yeah. Where it's like, even if you look at the lesser Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, like Thor, you give a fuck about Thor?
No.
I don't give a fuck about Thor.
Nobody gave a fuck about Iron Man until Robert Downey Jr. played him.
Sure.
I didn't give a fuck about Iron Man before Robert Downey Jr. played him.
Absolutely not. But like even Thor, still to this day, I don't give a fuck about Thor.
Yeah.
But I understand everything he's doing in his movie. You know, why is Thor sent out of Asgard? I get that. What he's doing to like grow as a character, I get that because they show it. It's a cheap movie. It's a simple movie. It's not my favorite. It's it's okay. It's a fine movie. But like I understand what is happening in Thor. And Thor is a movie with a rainbow magic portal and a hammer that can fly. And I get that. But for some reason, they can't get like just a guy who's really strong.
He's the arrogant bastard who needs to learn humility. That's a character arc.
Boom. Shaboom. You nailed it, Rich.
Batman's the murderous vigilante who's struggling over whether or not he should murder Superman. Well, he doesn't really struggle over that. He's sure about that until the end. But somebody says Martha.
Martha!
And now he suddenly can't.
Martha! Wait a minute. Do you know my mom?
I'm joking about the Nolan voice. I gotta say, like the new Batman voice.
Yeah, the little voice modulator thing. Yeah, it's fun.
But I'm still gonna mock the Nolan bark.
Of course. Every time you go,
just starts barking at Superman.
You probably could replace his entire dialogue with angry dogs barking, and it would still make sense. Is all I'm gonna say. Let's go back to Lex Luthor.
Yeah, please. Why does he hate Superman?
Why does Lex Luthor hate Superman?
We could assume that, like Bruce Wayne, even though they showed it with Bruce Wayne, maybe the destruction of Metropolis, he saw that and was like, yeah, this man's got to be stopped.
Maybe.
But then again, he's also murdering other people and blowing up Congress to accomplish this goal. It's got to be more than that.
And he's creating a monster. Why is he creating a monster?
Oh, I don't know. Well, he's got to kill Superman. Even though
is that why he's creating a monster?
Even though his plan was apparently to get Batman to kill Superman.
Right.
So he's got to have a monster just in case Batman fails to kill Superman, then the monster can do it. But I guess if Batman does successfully kill Superman, which is his initial plan, then what do you do with the rampaging monster you just created that has nothing to counter it?
Mr. Bibbs says Lex Luthor hates Superman because he is all good and all powerful, which Lex can't stand.
Where do you get that?
Mr. Bibbs,
where do you get that?
Where does he say that?
What in the movie informs this?
That's the real question.
Because Luthor is convinced that he's the angel. He talks about the demons coming from above, not below. He doesn't see himself as being all bad. He certainly doesn't see Superman as being all good.
Sure. Okay. So you're saying that is a line of dialogue in the movie, but he's also okay with exploding people?
He blows up Congress in an act that accomplishes nothing.
I don't understand. He says it. I thought Lex just wants to get more of those lucrative government contracts. He doesn't have government contracts. Don't you understand? Lex Luthor turned the painting upside down.
No, he's just Satan in Zack Snyder's ridiculous God imagery.
Here is the theory that we came up with on Twitter.
Okay.
The theory that makes absolute sense. If you insert this logic into Lex Luthor's character, everything he does makes perfect sense.
Okay.
One of Lex Luthor's businesses gets the government contracts to rebuild Metropolis. Mm-hmm. Then everything he does makes perfect sense.
Then don't you want to keep Superman around the next time he decides to destroy Metropolis?
Exactly. That's why he half-assedly sent people to kill Superman. And that's why he created a monster to rampage through the city. Because...
So he wasn't really trying to kill Superman. He was just trying to piss him off?
He was just trying to make a giant fight happen in the city to destroy more of the city to get more government contracts. Think about it. It makes perfect sense.
Oh,
it makes perfect
God.
sense. Okay, Lex's hatred comes from the fact that Superman wasn't there to save him from all the abuse from his father.
Establish that better.
It's what I got from watching the scene with Lex and Soup on the roof.
Do you think that's enough to make somebody murder a bunch of people and to create a city-destroying monster?
Yeah. No.
Why isn't he mad at everybody else who didn't rescue him from his abusive father?
Right? Guys, Lex said that his religious dad beat the shit out of him. And that's why he hates the god, and Superman is a god in his eyes. That's...
This god shit really makes these movies worse.
It really does.
You know, it'd be a great idea. Let's make Superman less relatable. How do we make Superman less relatable?
Yeah.
Put him further out of our reach.
Well, and maybe that's the thing. Like, you know, Lex Luthor had these high, God caused my dad to beat me, and now a god has come, and that's why I'm really mad at him. That is not a simple concept.
Maybe it's just maybe this is just because I'm an atheist, but
sure.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
One, yes. Two, that's big. And that's really weak. It's a big concept, and it's a really weak concept because you have to connect those dots, right? My dad beat me is one dot. Yep. Okay, so you're like I'm abused, right?
Yeah.
My dad was really religious. That's another dot. My dad beat me because he was religious is another dot. Superman is a religious figure now.
So's the Pope. Where's Lex Luthor's plan to kill the Pope?
You're confusing the issues. Superman is a religious figure now. Superman is a god. Superman caused my dad to beat me. These are all the dots that you need to collect when you have a goofy villain, because he's playing it goofy.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing it goofy and whimsical. He's giving senators jars of urine. These are a lot of dots to connect that's very weak.
Chad, I hate the Cubs.
So many dots. It's like poetry. Well, this is the thing where it's like, if you want that, like if that's your connection, maybe
you have to connect those dots.
You should show those dots being connected besides long, rambling, expository dialogue done by someone who's a crazy person who talks very fast.
That doesn't do a job of connecting those dots. If that is what they're going for.
Maybe, so let's assume that's what they're going for. Maybe he's a bad filmmaker, the Zack Snyder. And maybe he's not able to connect those dots using audio and visuals. This is all I'm saying. Jar of urine. There's a jar of urine. A jar of urine plays a prominent role in this movie.
Tabori HK says, if Rich hates the Cubs, why hasn't he tried to blow up Congress? That's some Batman versus Superman logic right there.
Yeah. Right. Granny's peach tea urine thing. Right. Do you remember? You remember the jar of urine that plays a vital role in the movie? We're all supposed to remember that jar of urine.
In John Byrne's comics, Luthor is basically Alexander the Great. He hates Superman because he is jealous of him. He also kind of loves him because he gives him the ultimate challenge, something worth his great efforts. That's great for the comic book version of these characters. None of this is established in the film.
You know, I actually really like that idea. The idea of like being upset with Superman because like he's greater than anything you could ever achieve. That would make sense.
Yeah.
And that's a really simple concept that you can understand immediately. Superman's stronger than me. Superman's a hero. People love Superman, and he doesn't have to try at all, and I have to work really hard to get my boom.
But Jack.
What?
Jesus.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. And I see you, chat. I see you saying these are things he literally said while on the rooftop. But remember, that rooftop scene was 2 hours into the movie when Lex had already done a bunch of batshit, insane, crazy things. These are things we should understand about the villain right away.
I didn't even get them after watching the rooftop scene.
Right.
I still felt like he had poor motivation.
Of course. You know why?
To do the extreme things he's doing, you need a clear, understandable motivation for what the villain is doing.
Well, you don't think like a throwaway line would work? Like just
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
And part of it that like mixed in with all the other lofty nonsense dialogue. No, it would just get lost in the shuffle of all the nonsense crap.
And you don't think it's okay to have that just like at the end of the movie? Like after he's done all the weird shit? We can just put that in at the end. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, Rich.
Why did he make a monster?
Because the monster will destroy the city and he has government contracts.
Putting aside your fan theory.
Which is great.
That's funny, but
perfect.
wrong. Why did he make a monster?
Why did he make a monster?
Because his plot was the Batman thing, I thought. But Batman failed. He's going to do this monster thing. Because he can certainly control the monster after the monster killed Superman. Probably not. That'd probably be very hard to do.
I don't understand the monster. Maybe that's why he wanted the kryptonite to control the monster, and he was upset that Batman stole the kryptonite, so he made the monster anyway?
He should just made that kryptonite bomb.
That would have been really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you, chat. That's the scene that ties it all together. I will argue that in movies like this, it is important that we understand the protagonists and the antagonists' motivation right from the beginning.
If it were done well, there wouldn't be a ton of people who saw the movie and were asking what the hell Lex Luthor's motivation was.
What? Say that again?
if it were done well, if that were intended, there would not be a ton of people who saw the movie and did not understand what Lex Luthor's motivation was.
Right.
And I don't think we were the only people on Earth who saw that Luthor had no motivation after seeing the movie.
Yeah. I agree. But like I said, even more than that, I want to kind of right up there in the beginning. As soon as we know who the bad guy is, we should understand why he's the bad guy.
If that was a thing they attempted, it failed.
Sure. I'm trying to think of examples here. From better movies.
Lex did not plan on having Batman kill Superman. He wanted Superman to bow to him. The monster was Lex's plan to kill Superman. Then what the fuck was Lex Luthor doing with Bruce Wayne for 18 months of setup?
Because remember that Lex Luthor was taunting Batman, and he says this in the movie. He was provoking Batman to fight Superman. And at one point he says, I think I finally pushed him over the edge, and they're going to fight. And then he sent Superman to fight Batman. That was part of his plan.
So what was Lex Palpatine attempting to do? Did he want a vote of no confidence from Congress? And that's why he blew Congress up, to get the vote of no confidence.
Because if he blows them up, he'll get the vote of no confidence, and then he'll be able to...
Because then they would keep voting him more and more power.
Because then...
And then he could build his Doomsday clone army.
But then the trade sanctions on Naboo would hold, and Naboo would be lost because then the Queen wouldn't be able to be Queen anymore, and they would have the trade sanctions.
And then Superman would never be his apprentice.
But what he really wanted was Batman to be his apprentice, but Superman will have to do because Superman was Batman's apprentice at the time, so they needed to get rid of the Batman so Superman would be his apprentice.
Okay.
Now it all makes sense. Oh, we'll get to Wonder Woman. Don't you worry, chat. There's a whole other part to this movie.
Can we get to just Doomsday?
Doomsday.
How fucking dumb is Doomsday?
As a character in general?
As a character in general.
Fucking dumb.
But if you are going to do Doomsday,
sure.
How dumb is it to introduce him in the last 10 minutes with no establishment or build-up, and then he just gets beat up?
Because, that usually makes something really threatening. Is not knowing exactly how strong or threatening they are.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
For better or worse, Doomsday is one of the iconic Superman villains, correct? Because of the publicity around the death.
Because he was the one that killed Superman. Sure.
Then you need to build him up as a threat. To have that mindless monster work as a threat, you need to show him being powerful.
Yes.
And being damaging. I remember in the comic books, it was a slow build-up. He actually has his arm tied behind his back when he first crawls out of the thing he landed in.
Okay.
So he's one-handed. He destroys a small town, and then the Justice League, the whole Justice League minus Superman, comes to stop Doomsday. And he beats the shit out of them with one hand.
Okay.
And you establish a powerful, threatening villain.
Sure.
And then you show him walking towards Metropolis. Oh my God, this is horrible. And then the hero shows up to fight this unstoppable threat. Or you can just have him pop out of a can, and then everyone beats him up.
How long do you think that the entire action sequence with Doomsday lasted?
10 minutes?
10 minutes, maybe. How much screen time, including that 10 minutes of action, do we see Doomsday? 11 minutes?
Maybe?
Nice. Maybe? This is some basic shit here. Is we need to know how bad the villain is. The first time we see Darth Vader, what's happening in the movie? All the rebels are fucking done, right? Mm-hmm. Darth Vader comes in, everybody's bowing to him, everybody's scared of him except for Leia, who's the hero. But like everyone else is like, yeah, fuck, I surrender, fuck Fuck! Fuck Darth Vader. Yeah, right? Big black suit, like...
He picks somebody up with one hand and he chokes them.
Fuck, dude. Done, right? Doomsday pops out of a building.
Roar! He jumps up like King Kong and is spinning around in a thing.
And then they start fighting immediately. It's
beat him up.
Dumb.
And they beat him up.
And they beat him, and it's over. 10 minutes. Boom. 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 I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying I would do a better job making the movie. I'm trying to give examples of how it's done well. You know, by the way, I agree, Chaos. Zack Snyder is terrible, but this was maybe a case of WB having too many cooks in the kitchen. Absolutely. But this is part of what makes Zack Snyder terrible, is he's working with the system. That's why he gets to make the movies. He gets to make the movies because he listens to the people who make bad decisions. Mm-hmm. And that's why he gets to keep working. Oh, sure, yeah, we can get a monster in there. That's fine. Lex Luthor, you want him? Wonder Woman, sure. Flash, Aquaman, all of them. We'll make all of them happen in there. It's all fine. Like, a good director knows how to both work the system and make a cohesive narrative out of that. And if he was a stronger director, he would have been able to wrangle in WB a little bit to make a good movie. But he's working within the system, and that's what makes him a bad director.
I just know Doomsday pops up.
Yeah. Doomsday pops up.
He's just a raging monster. We don't know how strong he is.
Nope.
There's just a fight, and the heroes vanquish him.
Yep.
Doomsday was relegated to the climax, the entire climax of the movie. Mm-hmm. Like, in any other film, that would have been like the midway action point. Oh, we haven't had any action in a while. I fight a monster.
Yep. Yep.
The climax of the film in any other movie would have just been a throwaway villain in the middle of the film somewhere just to keep things moving.
Of course. I really thought that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, Lex was going to be the real threat.
I thought that Doomsday was going to pop up and then like, oh, we have to work together.
The kryptonite-powered suit was going to come on out.
I was expecting a kryptonite-powered suit, like classic Lex Luthor,
Then maybe Batman would have something to do in that fight. By like, I can disable the suit. Superman can't get too close with this, but I can do this.
I can do this and shield the kryptonite so Superman can we work together, right?
And like or hate Wonder Woman, I know most people like, she didn't have any place in the end of this movie. She shouldn't have been there. The movie was Batman versus Superman. The problem should have been resolved by Batman and Superman. Not Batman and Superman. Oh, fuck, and there's Wonder Woman here. Like her, hate her. Love her, hate her.
Yeah.
Or mostly just love. She shouldn't have been there.
But Rich, Doomsday's dual-bladed lightsaber was so cool. Nice. Right. Wonder Woman.
Like Batman needed something to do other than, oh God!
Batman's...
I can't do anything!
Batman's main move during the Doomsday fight, and this is shown over and over again, is running away. All Batman is doing during that Doomsday fight is dodging Doomsday. He does nothing.
I know.
Nothing. But like I want to end on the giant disappointment that is the Batman versus Superman fight.
Yeah.
But before that, we should probably talk about the random shit that they decided to throw in this movie. The Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman.
Or there's the dream sequence that does nothing.
Oh my God, Rich, there's a dream sequence.
I now know exactly what happens in the Justice League movie.
But it's not a dream sequence. It's not a dream sequence because there are things in that dream that Bruce Wayne should have absolutely no knowledge of. Mm-hmm. The flying monsters, the Kryptonian flying monsters.
No, he's psychic now, just because. That's outside of the Flash thing, which arguably happened, even though he wakes up after it.
Right. In the middle of his psychic dream, future Flash comes in and says, "You have to protect Lois. She's the key to all of this. It rhymes." Oh, wait, I came here too fast. right? And then he wakes up again. It's dumb. It was just an excuse to fill an action quota because you get an action sequence.
It should have been the Doomsday fight.
Should have been the Doomsday fight. Should have been the Doomsday fight, Rich. Yeah, no, that dream sequence made no sense. It made no sense in the movie.
But Apocalypse, Darkseid.
But yeah, sure. But apparently Darkseid's Superman now, and
Superman's gonna come back. He's gonna be evil. He's gonna be Darkseid's throne.
That's fine. That's gonna be great.
He's gonna come. Superman's gonna come back evil, so they're gonna have an excuse for Superman to destroy more shit without caring about human life for half the Justice League movie.
But actually have it make sense this
But
time.
have it actually make sense this time. No, Superman's destroying the city now because he's evil.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, don't you hate Superman?
What a great way to kick off your DC cinematic universe. With a jackass Superman who murders everyone.
The kids are gonna love this. Don't you wanna fly and destroy cities too, kids? Well, they probably would.
That's what the Hulk's for.
Could you? Tired. Tired and sad. We are talking, and I'm sorry. I know you're tipping. Wake up. I know you're tipping. I keep seeing your tips, but we're talking. Where are we?
I don't know.
Titan said, did either of you see the deleted scene online of Lex Luther summoning Steppenwolf?
No.
Also, why did WDB turn Luther into a Loki type working for a space devil?
Because Mark Zuckerberg is how we see evil businessmen in this day and age.
Yeah, I think that, like, the way he played it is fine if he just had some better material to work off. Who has worse planning skills when it comes to building multiple trilogies? George Lucas or whoever the fuck is in charge at Warner Brothers? No, you know what?
George Lucas.
I think I was going to say Warner Brothers because at least George Lucas made all three movies exactly how he wanted to. I have a feeling that WB is going to stumble a bit. In terms of clumsily shoehorning multiple franchises, is this film more comparable to Iron Man 2, Age of Ultron, or The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Iron Man threw it all at you in one scene.
Right?
Yeah.
Iron Man 2 was flat, but was still part of the world.
I'll have to rewatch that. I remember watching it and not hating Iron Man 2. I know everyone shits on it.
Well, everyone shits on it because it was flat. But you know what? Like, Iron Man 2 actually did a lot of Avengers world building for us.
I'll have to rewatch it.
It's fine. It's just flat.
I know I flat out like 3, though.
Oh, 3 is a perfect movie. Absolutely. It's the greatest movie. Quick questions. Is this Rich Evans I hear in this prank call? Probably not.
If it's not one of the best of the worst prank calls, then no, it's not.
Okay, it's a link to a YouTube video that I'm not going to click on. Rob Vader, think Snyder will have Superman resurrected by Booster Gold, Frankenstein, and Myrrh? Oh, Frankenstein and Myrrh? Get it? Booster Gold, Frankenstein.
No, yeah.
I get it.
You need a couple more characters that sound like Myrrh and frankincense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Murmur. Booster Gold, Frankenstein, and Murmur. I don't know who Murmur is.
I don't know who Murmur is either. I guess that's a character.
I guess. Lex started with Zod's fingerprints. He wanted access to the ship. Right, I remember that. Once he got in, he learned the secrets of the universe and went mad.
Establish that.
Where was that?
Show him like, after they beam information into his mind, and then he starts acting like crazy immediately after that.
Absolutely.
That would be how you establish that. They don't do that.
But I think he acts exactly the same, and it seemed
exactly
like
the same before and after.
It also seemed like he had motivation,
and he'd already been planning the insane shit he'd been doing anyway.
Right.
Like the
Superman Batman fight distraction helped Lex finish his task.
Or he could have just kept doing his task in secret without throwing Lois Lane off a building.
Gobbledygooks, that is utter bullshit.
That is complete utter bullshit.
Utter bullshit. That is not shown in the movie. He was already working on that with no interference from Batman or Superman.
Yes. They had no idea what was going on.
It was fine. I guess you could say that Batman interfered by stealing the kryptonite. But
he'd already been manipulating Batman to fight Superman, so that would have been part of his plan.
That was part of his plan for
He'd
Batman
been manipulating Batman for 2 years. They clearly established that.
And like as far as like distracting them so he could continue working, the fight lasted 5 minutes.
As you would expect.
I don't know, and like maybe he was expecting it to be like more drawn out, but it was fine. It's fine.
I would not, he did far better than he should have, but I would not have expected Batman to last long. I would not have planned for that.
No.
It would never have been part of my plan.
No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not. So,
yeah,
Bruce Wayne goes to a Lex Luthor party with the intent of stealing information from Lex Luthor because he knows that Lex Luthor's got something sneaky going on. And he knows that Lex Luthor is trying to make a weapon to stop Superman.
Yes.
And Batman wants that weapon.
Yes.
Clark Kent is also at this party.
Yes.
Why is Clark Kent at this party?
It doesn't matter.
This is an important thing.
He's there because he's a reporter, and he's reporting on the high school basketball team that Perry White wanted to... Wait, no, that can't be.
No, because he's at the party. Why is he at the party?
I didn't even think of that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
No, it makes no sense. Because they needed a scene where they meet and Lex Luthor meets him. There's no reason that Clark Kent is at this party.
Do they need a scene where they meet? Or do they just have a scene where they meet?
Gobbledygooks. We will get... Lex is a genius. He knows about metahumans, all kinds of things. He knows secrets for a long time. He's put a timer and had it timed exactly to the birth of Doomsday. So?
He still doesn't need the extra time for the birth of Doomsday.
He needs those 5 minutes so Doomsday can come out.
He's the one who got Superman's attention in the first place. Superman was happily living in the mountain at that point.
Yeah, or he was doing some shit. If he just would have not stolen Lois Lane, he would have had days to finish Doomsday.
Because Superman, he had to retreat in the mountains after Congress blew up. And the world was exactly the same because we never see the Superman really care about saving human lives anyway. We're better off, really.
Yeah, well, but he had to have that talk with his Ghost Dad. And Ghost Dad was like, fuck, man, I don't know. And Clark is just like, I came here to talk to you, Ghost Dad. And Ghost Dad's like, I'm playing baseball, son. I don't know nothing.
I guess he's not going to save the occasional space capsule to a droning funeral music, but...
What was the reason Lex bombed the Capitol building?
I don't know. You tell me. There's no reason.
There's no reason.
To fail to frame Superman?
Did he want to frame Superman?
I can only assume that's the only thing that makes sense. Like, Superman goes there for the Congress, and Superman blows up Congress because he doesn't care.
I think it was more he wanted to kill the Congresswoman who was stopping his access to the ship.
Aren't there better ways of doing that?
You would think. I don't know why he blew up Congress.
I guess he was trying to more manipulate Batman, but how fucking useless was that?
I don't know. I can't do the new Batman voice because it's good and it's like digitally enhanced.
Yeah.
It's not Christian Bale's growl.
It's much better.
Yeah.
It's much better.
And it makes sense. Because Force Ghost, right? Superman using a bow. I don't know. That doesn't matter. Okay.
So Wonder Woman? Did you want to talk about
That's
Wonder Woman?
That's what I was getting to.
Okay.
Batman and Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne are at a party. Why Clark Kent? So it doesn't matter. They meet at the party, and they don't know that each others are superheroes. But Lex knows that both of them are superheroes, and that's why he's so excited. But also, Gal Gadot is there, and she is.
Maybe Lex invited everybody, in the movie's defense, maybe Lex invited everybody he knew was a superhero for some reason.
Right, because Lex also knows that
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is a superhero, so he invites Princess Diana to the party.
Maybe he's just trying to sniff them all out.
Just fucking with them?
just wants to meet him. I don't know.
Maybe, but then why didn't he invite Barry Allen?
Maybe he turned it down.
Barry Allen.
I'm just some schmuck. Why am I getting invited to Lex Corp? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, well, fuck
Cyborg is still half a corpse at this point.
He's still hanging up in some meat hooks.
And Aquaman, he didn't even get the invite. It dissolved on the way down.
He tied it to a rock. They threw it down there.
Aquaman opens it. It's just like paper dissolves. Like he didn't think to laminate the invite when he threw it to the ocean. Aquaman is like, oh, I wonder what that was. Someone threw a rock down here. That's weird. I don't like that at all.
Flash. Oh, Cosper. I like this one. What? Flash couldn't get there in time. Ka-ching!
Nailed it.
You got that one, buddy.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I'm getting to. I know Aquaman cameo looked dumb. Did you hear David
Has Aquaman ever not look dumb? Sorry.
Does Aquaman never... he, in the comics, it's fine. They can draw him fine. Did you guys hear David S. Goyer, the Batman vs. Superman co-writer, back in 2005 said that he was against making Batman vs. Superman because it's like Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. An admission they're out of ideas. Yeah. It could work as an Avengers movie.
Yeah, it's more along the lines of just jumping into the Avengers without bothering to set any of this shit up.
Right. So so Gal Gadot, back to Wonder Woman.
Like, I'm sure the lessons that Iron Man learned in Age of Ultron about being an idiot are going to come into play in Civil War because there's a character thing going on between the films. Absolutely. Or you could just jump right into Civil War without any other superhero movies before that. We'll just introduce, Iron Man in the movie. There was Captain America, but we'll introduce Iron Man and the rest of the Avengers and Spider-Man all here, and now they hate each other. We'll just make that a movie. Yep. Just throw that out there. Yep. Fuck them.
Just throw it all out there. Just it's the pasta rule. You just see what sticks. People seem to really like that Wonder Woman.
I was ambivalent.
Yeah.
I know Mike didn't like her, but I was the only thing I really hated was she had no business showing up at the end.
Right.
The movie was a mess at that point anyway.
Yes.
But in a movie about Batman and Superman, Wonder Woman did not need to show up at the end and steal the spotlights from both of our non-heroes.
Right. Like her main purpose in the movie was to set up the Justice League.
Yeah.
Like her and Batman her and Batman are talking on the email, right? And she gets all the files, and all the files that she was trying to steal from Luthor, that Batman stole from Luthor, have information on her, the Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman, and all of those sequences looked incredibly cheap and slapped together. You can clearly see Aquaman holding his breath. He has puffed out cheeks. That was my Aquaman impression. And it's horrible and it looks bad.
Is he going to drown during the filming of the Aquaman movie? Is that going to be a story that we're hearing about?
That would be great.
Final nail in the DC Cinematic Universe coffin. The DCCCU.
Right. It was awful and terrible, but that was her purpose. And then she was going to get on a plane, right? And while on a plane, and she has already told Batman or someone, she told someone I've given up with the world of men, and I don't want to be involved in your life anymore, right? Mm-hmm. And she's getting on a plane and leaving Metropolis when she sees that a monster has broken loose.
That's something. I don't care. I really don't care at this point.
Of the movie?
Yeah.
In the conversation.
In the movie. This monster's gonna show up to fight the monster now. Whatever.
So she shows up to fight the monster.
She's been in hiding for the last 100 years, but now
she
didn't show up. She didn't show up when Metropolis was getting destroyed by Zod.
Oh no!
Not then. That wasn't the right time.
But by the way, that wasn't just Metropolis. They were destroying the entire Earth. And the last time I checked,
maybe her plane couldn't get there in time. She was booking a flight when that was going on.
In Man of Steel, that actually affected her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She would have died along with everyone else if the entire Earth was terraformed. in Man of Steel. Don't do nothing.
Why did they? I don't remember. Why did they need to terraform the Earth when like Superman was fine? He just got superpowers. Zod eventually started to get superpowers.
Yeah.
Why were they terraforming the Earth?
That's a really good question.
Never mind.
Well, because if they didn't terraform the Earth, they would be momentarily discomforted before getting superhuman strength.
Oh!
But if they did terraform the Earth, they would be comfortable, but no super strength. This is a real thing in Man of Steel.
I hate these fucking movies.
Because when Superman went into the terraformed area, he was weaker. And so they would have terraformed the Earth. Nobody would have had superpowers. But they'd be fine. They would feel okay. But if they didn't terraform the Earth, all of them would have been momentarily discomforted, have learned how to use all their abilities, and that we would have had a race of superhumans living on Earth. They could have easily taken over the Earth without the giant machines.
And they'd have superpowers.
And they would all have superpowers forever. And be able to like dominate any threat that ever came.
Yeah, no shit.
They would be able.
No shit.
Superman can even like go anywhere in the universe, and because it's a yellow sun, right? The whole universe, or the whole galaxy.
Well, we don't know that the Superman can go anywhere in the universe.
Well, the galaxy.
We don't know that.
The galaxy.
I don't think he's quite that fast. The Superman.
Anywhere the yellow sun shines, he can be super strong.
Okay.
Is my thought. So, but I believe the explanation that they gave in the movie was that Zod is a nationalist, like a purist.
Okay.
And so
it's moot point. Wonder Woman.
Very moot point because
Wonder Woman getting on a plane to fly to Metropolis.
And she decides to fight the monster. And she shows up, and in one of the scenes that pissed me off the most is we hear that line, right? That, did she come with you? No.
Yeah.
I thought she came with you. And here's the thing, Batman says, no, I thought she was with you, when Batman sent her the email telling her to come fight the monster. Right?
Yep.
Superman doesn't know who Wonder Woman is at this point.
Well, it's exactly like Mike said.
What?
It was in there so they could have that line in the trailer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what? Have it in the trailer.
And just cut it out.
You don't need it in the movie.
Yeah.
And then they all fight the giant monster. And it's the lamest fight ever. And
Wonder Woman looked really badass. While Batman was running for fear.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
I'm just a human. I don't belong here at all. That's my Batman impression.
That's a great lead into the Justice League. You really want to show how useless Batman is.
And in the big climax of the fight, the whole spear thing has been debated all over and over. I don't even care to talk about this stupid spear thing. We'll get into more of that with the Batman versus Superman fight. The big climax to the Doomsday thing is Batman momentarily incapacitates Doomsday with his last kryptonite grenade. And Wonder Woman ties him up with her golden lasso of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that is the very first time we see the golden lasso ever in the movie.
Whatever.
Not whatever.
That's whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm not in the movie at this point. The movie had lost me by this point.
This is insult to injury. We are expected to. The movie asks a lot of us. People who can fly, people have super strength, people have tanks and cars and weird guns and gadgetry.
Yeah.
And then this lady comes by, and she's also super strong and has a sword and shield for some reason. And now, out of nowhere in the fight, she already has this monster tied up to a glowing rope. Where'd the rope come from? Why is the rope not breaking? That's a weird rope. Why is she tying him up with the rope?
That's...
It's another piece to the crap puzzle.
That would be showing Batman's origin again. We know Wonder Woman's rope. Whatever.
We see Batman's...
Fuck it.
Listen. We see...
Fuck it.
We see the Waynes get murdered 5 times in slow motion.
But they have never been murdered more beautifully. The Wayne murder has never, ever looked this good.
We don't need to see it 5 times in slow motion.
Can we talk about the bats?
We'll get there. My final point here is take away one of those murders and give me a little lasso setup. Can you do that?
But Jack, the bats.
The bats, Rich!
Didn't you love how Zack Snyder completely missed the point of the bats?
What would you say the points of the bats are, Rich?
So Batman's parents are murdered, and in his grief he runs and he falls into the cave, into the bat cave. And there are bats in the cave.
Yeah.
And then the bats, they fly around him and they raise him up into the light.
Right.
Why is Batman Batman? What do the bats represent?
The general, it's different for different writers, but usually the general thing is Batman was afraid of bats.
Oh.
And he owned up to his own fear and now uses the mantle of the bat to strike fear into the people that he wants to punish.
So the bats should have represented fear and not hope?
It's really weird how he could have gotten that so ass backwards.
Wouldn't it have been great if instead of the bats circling him and lifting him up, what if they circled around him and they dragged him down?
What?
And Batman gets lost, and then Batman is born as all of the bats fucking burst out of that hole in the ground and cloud out the sun.
What?
Wouldn't that have been awesome?
What?
Just young Bruce Wayne screaming, getting, the bats gotta suck him in.
Yeah.
That'd have been great.
That would have been great.
Just all, like, at once, just bursting out of the hole and filling the sky, and there's nothing but darkness. That would have been so Batman.
And see, this is the thing. In the chat, they're saying because Batman is Jesus. But no, Superman is Jesus. Batman is supposed to be the man in this story. Literally, they even fuck up the story they're trying to tell, where Superman is supposed to be the god, Batman is supposed to be the man, and it's man and God, man against God, man and God working together, or some shit like that. They can't get their own story straight.
Because it's just, ultimately, it's just fucking biblical imagery for its own fucking sake. How does the Superman Jesus thing further the story or the character at all? What does it mean? Other than just wanking off all over the film, what does it mean?
It's in there just so the film can seem smarter, so that when people try to criticize the film, other people can say, you just don't get it.
Yep.
It's too smart for you.
Yep.
You're a Marvel fanboy. Go back to Sunday morning cartoons, Saturday morning, whatever.
Yep.
I watched them on Sunday because I taped them because I worked on Saturday morning. Fuck.
You want to talk about the actual fight itself between Batman and Superman?
I do.
You have the world's most clever human being.
And he does some detective shit in this movie.
He does some detective shit in this movie.
And then it can't be said enough how much I enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman Bruce Wayne.
You have a character who's defining character trait. He's a very smart, clever, intelligent man.
Yes.
And then you have this immovable powerhouse. Mm-hmm. And how does the clever man fight the immovable powerhouse? He hits him with a kitchen sink. His solution to the Superman problem is dumb brute force.
His solution to the Superman problem, knowing that Superman is a dumb blunt force object, is to use other dumb blunt force objects.
Where was the clever trap? Where was the thinking? Where was the strategy?
To be fair, he tried some traps. Right? First there's
he tried one.
First there's a sound wave trap.
Okay.
And then there was a machine gun trap. And then there was a smoke bomb.
And then fuck it, I'm just gonna hit him.
And now I'm gonna hit him.
I'm gonna tie him to a rope and I'm gonna swing him around the room. That's how I'm gonna fight Superman.
Also, I understand that Superman's not supposed to necessarily be clever. But how dumb?
Well, he is. You just have to make him dumb when he fights Batman.
But how dumb are they making him? Okay, so
Superman's supposed to be extraordinarily smart and clever. He's a writer.
Oh, that's true. Well, but that doesn't necessarily make him clever, but maybe smart. Like,
he's not an idiot.
He's not an idiot. But he drops down. His whole plan, Superman, who does not like Batman, discovers that his mother has been kidnapped and tortured by Lex Luther. Right?
His first instinct is to get the murderous Bat vigilante to help him.
Which
makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
Dude, he's a Superman.
You are Superman.
He's Superman. You don't need Batman's help to save one person. Well, this Superman does, because he doesn't save anybody. It's just his personal policy. Even if it's his mother, I can't save her. I gotta have somebody else do that. I don't save people.
Right.
I don't do that. I don't do anything that's not in my own self-interest.
But this isn't your self-interest. Saving your mother.
I can't fuck my mother.
Oh.
Well, hey. I suppose I could.
Because she's not really related.
I'll just have the Bat do it. It's fine.
So he's sent to fight off the Batman. Lex says, fight the Batman, kill the Batman, or I kill your mother. Right? So Superman starts flying towards Batman. I guess I have to do. There's no other option besides this. So he's flying to the Batman, who is sitting there waiting for Superman, not really knowing if Superman is on his way. Right?
Yeah.
Batman has an elaborate trap system, including a kryptonite spear knife. And what was Batman's plan to lure Superman to him?
I just turned the bat signal on.
He turned the bat signal on.
Yeah. It worked.
It only worked because Lex Luthor sent him there.
It was a very fortunate coincidence for Batman. A very fortunate coincidence.
What if Lex Luthor did this on the next day and Batman was just standing all night in the rain? God, I hope Superman shows up.
You know that scene should have went?
Huh.
Like Lex Luthor says, your mother dies unless you bring me the head of the bat.
Yeah.
Superman flies off.
Yeah.
A second later, he comes back. He's got Martha Kent in his hands. Well, here she is, Lex. I'm taking you in. Just.
Yep. Of course, he doesn't know where Martha Kent is.
He knows where Lois Lane is falling off a building.
I was going to say...
He's nowhere near there. He doesn't know she's going to be thrown off a building, but he just hears that.
If only he had some sort of heightened sense of hearing and sight, that he could spend this hour looking for Martha. Right?
Meanwhile, Batman's still standing on the roof. He's taking his time. Oh,
Alfred, have you check the satellites? Do you see Superman? What do you mean he's taking Lex Luthor to jail? Fuck, I turned on the bat signal. Why isn't he here?
Oh, this rain's starting to short out my suit. I'm starting to rust.
Shit. Did
you pack my lunch?
Alfred, I need an exit. I have to go to the bathroom. I really thought he would be here by the time I had to go to the bathroom. Oh. Alfred. So.
He's packing up the machine guns after Superman doesn't show.
And then finally, oh shit! Ah! Puts his mask back. What are you doing here now? And Superman's like, oh, sorry, I had to save my mom.
I'm taking to jail now.
Really sorry, Batman, Bruce. I had this whole thing. Lex Luthor was trying to build a monster. I stopped it all though, because I'm Superman. And I'm super strong and fast. And I'm really great at everything. So don't worry about me, Lex. I got this. So, Bruce, sorry. You're not Lex Luthor. How weird. He's dumb. Superman is now really dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Superman is now really dumb, and he goes to fight, or he goes to get Batman's help. Because Lex
when he doesn't need Batman's help.
Doesn't need Batman. But, okay, I guess I'll listen to Lex Luthor, because that's what I have to do. Let's just say that he does that, right? He decides So in Superman's head, he needs to now convince Batman to work with him to save his mom.
Yeah. Even though he doesn't need to do that.
Okay. Superman is now really, really dumb for some reason.
Yes.
So now he's done that. So now he lands and he sees Batman in an Iron Man suit. And he tries to explain to Batman what's going on, but Batman starts hitting him with the traps, right? He's like, Bruce, we got to talk. I have a problem. And he steps on the first trap and, Soundwave, no trap. But he destroys that really, really easily. And then he destroys the second trap really, really easily, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he also stops trying to explain what's going on.
He got really mad. Yes.
And here's where we get to another in-movie huge logic flaw.
Mm-hmm.
He then confronts Batman. And what he knows, what does Superman know about Batman at this point? He knows he's Bruce Wayne.
He knows he's Bruce Wayne.
But he knows like what Batman looks like, right?
Yeah.
So Superman now sees Batman in a giant armor costume. And he gets his hands on that costume. And we already know that Superman can rip a car in half.
Mm-hmm.
He does not take the armor off of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He pushes him.
He had to be stupid. Or the movie couldn't have had a fight. I don't care. Whatever.
These are all the but this is my problem. Is even in what should be a really fun action sequence, the characters are making dumb decisions.
This is just dumb, yet very, very expensive fight choreography.
Yes.
That's all it is. It's not a major fundamental problem. It's just a waste of a lot of money. It's just going down that drain.
I can't even enjoy the fight. This was the main event. This is what the movie has billed us toward. Batman is going to fight motherfucking Superman. And Superman does something. He has already ripped apart one of Batman's machines.
I can just imagine Jim and Colin working on this and just hating themselves for working on it.
Yeah.
That's what I picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the dumb fight happens. It's a dumb fight. Some of it's kind of cool. It's mostly really dumb. It ends with Batman hitting Superman over the head with a sink.
Everything and the kitchen sink, Jack.
Batman rips a sink off of a wall and bashes Superman in the head with it. And then right before
that was going to be really effective.
You
put that spear like 100 yards away. You keep that spear on the other side of town, because the fight's gonna bring you to the spear. You just know that.
He just knows that.
And then you can dig out that spear and jab Superman. Don't keep that behind your cape, and don't use that like first thing after you kind of incapacitate Superman. You want to hit him with the fist a few times.
Why?
You just want to do that.
Just because you want to do that.
Because you got bleed.
You could make him really bleed with a kryptonite spear,
Oh.
These are real things. Oh, but you might be thinking to yourself, oh, well, maybe he wanted to hide it because Superman has X-ray vision. But Batman doesn't know he has X-ray vision.
And Superman doesn't know what kryptonite is.
And 3 times Superman does not use his X-ray vision. He doesn't use it to see the first trap. He doesn't use it to see the second trap. And he doesn't use it when fucking Batman uses a smoke bomb on Superman, and he gets lost.
To be fair, he might have seen the traps that Batman was going to unleash, but he just didn't care because he knew they would be completely ineffective as they were.
Sure, but then now he's attacking Batman. Batman throws a smoke grenade. Superman can see through the smoke grenade because he has X-ray vision, but he still loses the Batman. Also, Batman is in a giant clunky metal suit, and Superman has super hearing.
Yes.
Where'd he go? Clunk, 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 clunk. Ha!
Jack, it was specifically built to be a ninja armor suit. Specifically built for that.
Ninjas are...
The whole time Alfred was working on it, he was thinking, this is so stupid. This is so fucking stupid.
Clunk, 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 clunk. Where did that Batman go?
Bruce could have used this money to build a hospital. That's what Alfred was thinking.
We could have completely rebuilt Metropolis with all the money we've been spending on punishing the man who accidentally destroyed Metropolis. Shit. Clunk, 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 clunk. Where did he go? Where did he go, George? Clunk, 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 clunk. These are all the things. It's like, again...
Oh, it was a lead smoke grenade, you fucks. So Batman's going to die shortly after the movie of lead poisoning.
It was a lead smoke grenade. How was Batman aware of Superman's X-ray vision? Was this a widely known fact?
Well, it's in the comics.
Of course, Batman read the comic books. As we all know, Ben Affleck is a huge comic book geek. So Ben Affleck knows this. So Batman knows this. Superman was going easy on Batman, like playing hide and seek with a 3-year-old. Maybe. Again, Superman's only motivation was to get Batman to help him save his mother.
Mm-hmm. Or kill him. Because he had that line of speech that, something the world makes terrible people or something like that, even though he's already a terrible person who murders people.
Yeah.
What was that line? The world makes everyone bad sooner or later? Something stupid like that. Lofty dialogue. Even though he's already a jerk. He's already clearly and firmly established to be a super jerk.
He's a huge jerk. Lead dust. There's, like, in Christopher Reeve's Superman, Lex Luther hides kryptonite in a lead box.
Yeah.
And he knows that Superman can't see through lead because we have a scene where he's giving an interview to Lois Lane and she writes an article.
Yeah. Which is very bright of Superman. Very bright.
Well, he did. Yeah, but he's good. He thinks everybody's good, right?
More too honest for his own good.
Set up. Something is set up earlier in the movie and it pays off later in the movie. Mm-hmm. Set up and payoff.
Well, you just have flicks hit each other.
You could just have them hit each other, sure.
That. Just have them hit each other.
Yeah, I guess we could have them hit each other.
I'm so done. I am so done.
We can be.
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Is it really 1 a.m.?
With this shit ball. Yeah.
Have we been talking about Batman vs. Superman for 2 fucking hours?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry it went this late.
Thoughts on Alfred? He was great. Jeremy Irons is great. Everything with Batman was pretty decent.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about much we liked. There is the single greatest Batman action scene of all time.
When Batman goes to save Martha.
Other than the guns.
Batman murders in this one.
Michael Keaton also murdered. Sure.
You have to be comfortable with Batman being a murderer, and it's a really good action sequence.
I'd say the killing Superman plot would have been a lot stronger if this were a Batman who were adverse to killing.
Yes.
But Zack Snyder wanted death, so
it's fine.
Still a great Batman action. Batman has never fought more like Batman than he did in that scene.
Exactly.
He's just not encumbered or bulky. He's not gadget.
No, he uses his sneakery.
His movements, his flipping.
Looks amazing, super fun action sequence. If you can just get that action sequence, watch
Basically, yeah.
It's great. It ends on a dumb joke. There are 2 dumb jokes in this movie, and they are out of context, and I hate it. Bad Punisher, right? Yes, Batman killing was the least of the problems with this movie. This is a Batman who kills, and you just have to be okay with that. This is not the Batman that we're used to.
The problem is, though, with a Batman who kills and who is willing to use guns.
Yeah.
Not like kill incidentally, but just blatantly use guns. He should be using guns all the time. He should be like a part of his equipment.
Yes. They're very effective.
Yeah, because they're very effective. But whatever.
Yeah. Also, Superman dies because Superman dies at the end. Because they wanted to have that little scene where maybe he's not dead, but everybody knows that Superman died in the comics and then came back. Like we're fucking concerned that he's not gonna come back.
Especially when it's like the first movie in the universe.
In the Justice League universe. Let's kill off the most popular and profitable character ever.
He won't be coming back.
Nope, not. Or maybe he will. Of course he is. Fuck it.
Well, they can bring him back evil when Darkseid resurrects him, and then he'll have an excuse to murder people.
Right. No,
he'll murder a lot of people in the Justice League movie.
This was a movie made by dumb people for dumb people to make dumb people think that they're smart.
Like whatever city is the Flash's city, because the Flash isn't terribly popular.
Yeah.
Whatever, Keystone, or is that Green Lantern? Whatever the Flash city is, Superman's gonna fucking level it.
Star City.
Okay. Superman's gonna fucking level Star City.
Okay. Or Sterling.
Whatever. I don't... DC's fictional cities are just weird.
It's dumb.
They're kind of weird. It's not dumb, they're just weird.
Central City. Is that it?
Central? Okay.
I don't know.
It will be leveled.
And that'll get
I'm going to say specifically Flash's city, because that will get Flash involved.
That's the only way he's going to get involved?
Yeah.
Great. Star City is Green Arrow. You're right. Coast City. Who's in Coast City?
I think that's Lantern. Right?
Oh, yeah. That might be Green Lantern. What if he resurrects as a wiser Superman that is actually upbeat about his role and proud of being a hero?
Zack Snyder's directing it, you fool!
No, because he's going to be busy with the Fountainhead. So they'll get a different director, and he resurrects as the Superman everybody loves.
No, he's going to resurrect as Super Murder Man.
Right.
Under the control of Darkseid.
But then Batman will science a way to get him back to normal.
Well, after Superman's been like killing people for half the movie, they'll get Superman back to normal. And then he'll murder half the city while trying to stop Darkseid.
It's probably going to happen. Dumb because dumb. Dumb. It is. It's a dumb movie. It's a dumb movie, and it's the worst kind of dumb movie because I love dumb movies.
Superman's gonna put his hands over like Darkseid's eyes, then the Omega beams are gonna blow up Darkseid's head.
Oh, sure. It's a dumb movie that thinks it's smart.
Yeah.
And like I love dumb movies. I'll watch The Rock any day of the week. I will watch Face Off any day of the week. I fucking love dumb movies. But you got to know what you are.
What do we think of Affleck writing a Batman movie?
Affleck is a talented writer and director.
And I like this version of Batman. I would like to see more of this version of Batman.
Not only is Ben Affleck a talented writer and director, he is also a huge comic book nerd who would probably be faithful to Batman in very real ways. Everybody should be okay with Ben Affleck writing Batman. It would be great.
All right, okay.
Ben Affleck has won an Academy Award for fuck.
I'll pull up some names.
Oh shit! I can't believe it's 1 in the morning.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit to talk about with that film.
That's a turd. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see here. Gobbledygook says, I'm glad the movie makes these kinds of discussions. Thanks, guys. Be sure to watch it again in 3D and get those Blu-rays.
Oh.
And for more answers, you can try DC Universe Online for the PS4. It's free, you fucks. Thanks, Gobbledygooks.
I just remembered something about the movie. Outside of the movie.
Oh, okay. I thought we were out. What?
Somebody in the mentioned, like, shame the movie's making so much money. I heard an interesting fact.
Yes.
166 million over the weekend.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It had like the second biggest drop off from Friday to Saturday, which was matched only by the Fantastic Four movie. And then the drop from Saturday to Sunday was the biggest of all time.
Yes.
So it's falling fast.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's huge.
I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if the trend will continue, but it's just interesting.
The biggest aspect of the movie that makes me the most depressed is Superman. Superman is not what I would call a complicated hero.
It's neither super nor mad.
Sure. Well, I mean, the Superman that I love, the Superman that I like is not a complicated hero.
Yeah.
He's a good guy who's doing his best to do good things.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
He has these powers, and he's just doing what he can to do good things.
He was raised right, and he wants to use his power for the betterment of people.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
And the drama in his life comes from him not being able to be everywhere at once. And that's the Superman that I love. And the most depressing thing about this movie is this Superman is a dickhead.
The Superman who could easily take over the Earth.
Yeah.
He just wants to go home at the end of the day to his Kansas farmhouse and say hi to Mom and Pa.
Right? Maybe
have some dinner with Mom.
Maybe I'll go on that date with Lois Lane.
Yeah.
But first I need to stop this nuclear missile.
Oh, there's people in trouble. I better do something. Because I care about people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Superman.
That's the hero I want to believe in. And this Superman,
Jack,
is a giant dickhead.
That's the hero we deserve.
That's the hero we deserve.
The hero we need right now. Levels Metropolis.
Right? Right?
Misner won 15 months in a row.
K's 87, 16 months in a row.
Lucas Dukas.
Ex Mensa 21 fucking months in a row.
The Real Quaid 17 months in a row.
Crab.
Oh, bother.
Smiling Strange 19 months in a row.
Maniac 1215 21 fucking months in a row.
Caesarean Fart.
Tadaxp. 14 months in a row.
Master Kenobi 007 22 fucking months in a row.
I think my eyes were crossed. I thought it just said like 4.
That's all right. Yeah.
You know,
We've been talking about a crap movie for 2 hours.
Fisted by Dope Smoke 16 months in a row.
Sagan 1220.
How did you say that?
Sagan.
Sagan, like Carl. Sagan.
Sagan.
Sagan. Sagan.
I got this. Saga N 1220. 14 months in a row.
I knew you were going to do that.
Did you know?
I knew you were going to do that. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Not exactly what you did. A theme of just really getting
just
it wrong.
Getting it very wrong.
Yeah.
Sagan.
The Dude, 1944. 15 months in a row.
Sausage. Chasm.
Biff Meat Slab, 18 months in a row.
Tear both eyes out.
Hixer Mixer.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Harmon Z.
Let me scroll up. Click. By the way, oh my God. I'm drawing a blank. Who did this again? This was Beefcake. Yeah, thank you, Beefcake. Thank you for the updated version of the Twatcher.
It's working
Beefcake.
great. It's working great, Beef. Hey, Beef.
TCL P999. 18 months in a row.
Torbear Night. Torbear Night?
Torber Night.
Torber Night.
NITE KNIGHT.
Nice.
Preceded by a Tober.
Torber
Night.
Torber Night.
Icebone Badger. 20 fucking months in a row.
Lure Dayak.
Dr. Rufus.
Gobbledygooks. Hey, Gobbledygooks. 20 fucking months in a row.
Made it into fucking territory.
You made it into the fucking territory.
Congratulations.
Gobbledygooks.
Sky Dandy. 18 months in a row.
Galactic Sean.
And Chaos 1428. Thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate it.
It's true. We really do. And we hope to see you guys on Sunday. It'll be a weird one.
And
don't forget about Sunday.
Once again, Leftover Beefcake, thank you for the Twatcher. Amazing program that he made. He invented the program that keeps track of our subscribers. It's great. We use it all the time. Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming out. We'll see you on Sunday.
Good luck with the clown makeup, jerk.